Hello, everybody, and welcome to Swampy Comics. I'm Swampy, and we're going to be doing the weekly tier list for the comics I picked up this week of October 8th, 2025. A little bit of a heads up if you caught my preview video earlier this week. I had Superman, the Kryptonite Spectrum number 3 on the list, and I forgot to get it at one shop, and then I went to the next shop that I shop at, and it wasn't there at all. So I'm gonna move that to next week because I really enjoyed that book and I really want to talk about it. But I've subbed something in binary from the world of Revelation from Marvel Comics, so we still got the same number of comics to talk about. But with that being said, let's jump right into it. As you can see, the first comic we got going on right here is Absolute Batman number 13. This is by writer Scott Snyder with art by Nick Dragotta, colors by Frank Martin, and letters by Clayton Cowles. And in this landmark issue, we have the first real, we've gotten Selena in flashbacks and at the end of issue 12 and whatnot, but we get our full first absolute Catwoman issue. And boy, oh boy, was it good. From them first meeting in one of Bruce's many hideouts, to their argument, to their quick tryst in bed, and then out on the town for a date in costume. Um, this just ruled. I love the introduction of the Red Hood gang being led by none other than Absolute Harley Quinn, who gets her introduction in this book, and that just has darkness written over it because it's like I think we're gonna do a reverse Jason Todd here, man. I think Joker is gonna take out Harley, but anyway, we're not gonna get into theories right now. This was a really exciting issue. This is it's just crazy with this Absolute Batman series. I just every single issue I, that comes out, I'm like, oh, this might be one of the best. This might be one of the best. And this time, I really mean it. I really loved this issue. I really loved Bruce taking to the airwaves to call Bane out and challenge him to a fight. I love finding out that in for a fact that Bruce has been implanted with venom, and he's going to be struggling with using that. I'm sure in the future. He already seems intent on using it to fight Bane. Selina thinks that's a bad idea, but we'll see how that goes down. Um, but yeah, taking to the airwaves to call out Bane was just such a baller move, and it was so awesome. And I really cannot wait for their confrontation next issue. This has got me so hyped. This was fantastic. This is going S tier, right next to super happy Guy Gardner there. Oh man, Absolute Batman 13, what a killer. Next up, we got Action Comics 11 or 1091. This is by writer Mark Wade with art by Skylar Patridge, colors by Ivan Placencia, and letters by Steve Wands. And in this, we're continuing with Superboy's collision with Captain Comet. We pick back up from the end of last issue with Superboy being confronted by the U.S. military, and they're trying to take him into custody, and he flies out of there, and he feels like he's been set up with Captain Comet, and all these things are not adding up. Like, why has Captain Comet been just putting him in all these crazy situations? I mean, he found out that the people he was fighting last issue weren't even superpowered. It was just weird technology that they were using, and um, he gets his answers. He gets to confront Captain Comet in this issue while dealing with some of his own personal problems and having his parents help them through them. But I this is just so good. We'll just get into it. We find out that Captain Comet is sick and dying, and he can't get off the planet, and he's been trying to basically train Clark like in a fast and hasty, hardcore manner to make sure he's good enough to take his position as being the government superhero. And I even think at this point, like, I don't know, I kind of got the feeling that Captain Comet was just saying, be yourself and be good and earn their trust. And yeah, this was a nice positive turn at the end of this story. I'm glad that it didn't come to a fight that would have been just tragic, but you get this really positive moment of Captain Comet saying, "Yeah, I can't get back into space. I don't have enough juice in the ship to break through the atmosphere." And Clark's like, "Why don't I just chuck you up there, man? I can do that." And yeah, he doesn't give up on Captain Comet and throws him into space and says goodbye. And it was just beautiful and awesome. And Skylar Patridge's art in this issue was just firing on all cylinders. I really enjoyed this. I Yeah, yeah. No, I'm putting an S tier. This was so good. This was so good. I really loved it. I really did. All right. Next up, though, moving over to Marvel for a minute, we got Amazing X-Men #1, the first entry of the X-Men book that's going to be going during the Age of Revelation event. And this is written by Jed McKay with art by Mahmoud Asrar, colors by Matt Wilson, and letters by Clayton Cowles. And in this issue, we pick up with where we were at the end of Overture, and they're kind of getting together with who they have left over after the attack from Wolverine. And yeah, I really like the status quo that's being set up for this event. This is going to be a lot of fun. I like the pace of this storytelling. I like Beast and Cyclops getting some quality time together and running from Wolverine and giving him making jokes about him. And oh man, yeah, it was this issue just it really hit for me. I really liked this. There's a really nasty moment with the character Death Dream and Wolverine that I really thought was awesome and didn't expect to turn the page and see in that graphic of a fashion. But yeah, I'm really liking the Age of Revelation so far. The character of Swarschild and any of these 3K people, I gather that's where he's from. I'm not familiar with that stuff, so that a lot of that feels a little lost on me. But yeah, nonetheless, this was really cool, and I really liked the last page, the cliffhanger of Darkchild magic. Um, yeah, kind of there to cause some hell, no pun intended. But anyway, yeah, I really like this. Amazing X-Men. I think it's going to be one of the winning books of this little Age of Revelation event. So yeah, let's go ahead and throw this one an A tier. This is great. I had fun. I had lots of fun with that. Speaking of fun, let's continue on with it with Aquaman #10. Hitting double digits with Aquaman. This one's by writer Jeremy Adams with art by John Timms, colors by Rex Locus and Matt Herms, and letters by Dave Sharp. In this, we have Arthur. Kind of, it's he's trying to find his footing now that he's escaped the blue, and he has a lot more power under his control that both Vivian and Arion are just kind of like, I don't think he realizes that he's basically a god right now. Like his power is crazy, and it just keeps on building and building. But we have a great little Halloween diversion of an issue because this one deals with one of my favorite things, ghost pirates. Yes, we got a ghost pirate issue of Aquaman, and it's great. And and I was totally cool with it. But for most of this issue, I was like, okay, we're just having a dumb fun time, and we're gonna pick up next time, and this isn't gonna mean much. And it doesn't mean too much on the surface. These ghost pirates were a tool for a cover for somebody else, it seems. And it seems that Aquaman's alternate daughter Andrina, or grown up, alternate universe daughter Andrina, um, was looking to get her hands on this ghost pirate treasure, and it seems like she woke these ghost pirates up to come after this treasure so she could get to it before them dig it up and not let anybody know that she has it. So yeah, I really can't wait to see where we're going from here and how any of this will lead into DCKO, or if this is going to be a series kind of off to the sideline of DCKO, much like the mainline Batman series currently. We shall see. But yeah, I really enjoyed this. This was a good fun time. Perfect October issue, and yeah, gonna throw that firmly in A tier. And next up, we got Binary #1. This is by writer Stephanie Phillips, artist Giada Belviso, colorist is nope, that's a Rochelle. I almost said Rachel. Colors by Rochelle Rosenberg and letters by Travis Lanham. Binary. This is another Age of Revelation mini series, and we are coming upon Carol Danvers, who's inherited the Phoenix powers. The Dark Phoenix has inhabited her, and she is protecting a town in the Revelation territories from the X virus uh, by using super powerful freaking Phoenix powers combined with some Captain Marvel. I mean, we got a pretty powerful being here, and we kind of see that she's forcing this on the townsfolk for their own benefit, but she's not controlling them. But they just keep on growing increasingly paranoid that there is no X virus, and she's doing this or that, and and she's a tyrant, and um, yeah, I don't know. This is really interesting. I can't wait to see where this goes, especially with the reveal at the end that an alive Jean Grey is on her trail for some reason. Um, yeah, this is cool. This is honestly one of the books that I was like, I'm gonna pick up this issue one, but I'm probably not gonna give a crap after this. No, I totally give a crap. This is neat. This is really cool. I like the concept. Um, you know, the table is set for a fun couple of issues, and yeah, I really like what the Age of Revelation is putting down. So Binary is going to get a surprising A from me. I did not expect to like this as much as I did. This was one of the titles that seemed the least exciting to me, to be honest. But yeah, I'm all in on this one. This is good stuff. I really liked Binary. Next up, oh boy, we got I mean, Age of Revelations kicking off, but let's be real. This is the big event of the season. DCKO #1 is here, and this is written by Scott Snyder with story by Joshua Williamson and Scott Snyder, and art by Zermanico and Javier Fernandez, with colors by Alejandro Sanchez and letters by Hassan Atsmain Ahau. And holy crap, what a behemoth of an issue! I loved everything about this. I loved the framing of it. I liked the art and how it felt. Um, Messy and fun in a good in a really cool unique way. Um, I There's nothing I didn't like. After I read this last night, I flipped through it again, and man, all throughout today, I was just watching and listening to YouTube videos reviewing this book and talking about it. And I mean, just a lot happens here in such little time. Yeah, we get an omnipotent dark side attacking every point of interest and power in the DC universe at the same. It's just that was so cool. We get Time Trapper kind of resetting the time for us to let everybody know that, like, hey man, 7 days from now we're hosed, and through layers and layers of really cool lore and dialogue, we find out that basically yeah, they got to have a big old fighting tournament, and the planet's going to go to hell while this happens, and the Justice League Unlimited is basically going to handle it, while the Titans and Mister Terrific are handling evacuating Earth and keeping everybody safe on the surface. And oh boy, yeah, we get minor and major characters taken out right away for this tournament, although not dead permanently. Um, we're told, but we get swerves and turns and Superman struggling to take this seriously and stop being such a Boy Scout about it, which I really like. I really like when Superman has to struggle with it. We get villains winning. We get the first like really confirmed crossover that like, yeah, the absolute trinity were Gonna be probably seeing them against our heroes in one form or another by the end of this event. I mean, this was just monumental. This was just really cool. I am beyond excited to participate in this whole event, and I'm really happy to be a fan right now. S tier. I mean, this is a good week to be a fan of the big two. Um, it's also a good week to be a fan of the indies. I didn't get too many indies books this week. In fact, I only got one. Let's talk about it now. Everything Dead and Dying by Image Comics. This is by writer Tate Bromball. Art and colors by Jacob Phillips, with colors also by Pip Martin, and letters by Aditya Bidikar. And boy, oh boy, Everything Dead and Dying is just a grim and insane take on the zombie genre. I've never seen a take quite like this, and we're only 2 issues in. I knew we were in for a really weird time as the reveal of the first issue comes up that our protagonist Jack is basically taking care of not only his husband Luke and their kid, who are zombies, and Jack isn't, but his entire town of people that are zombies, and he's got them stuck in this routine, so they're not ravenous monsters. They're more just well fed, and they stick weirdly to their routines, a la Dawn of the Dead, the old original Dawn of the Dead, where they make the mention of the zombies being in the mall because they're just going about their normal thing because that's all they know how to do. Anyway, you get a group of survivors that come upon Jack in this issue, and it is not good for Jack and his family, and it's really hard to know who to root for. And I really, I'm really stoked and really glad that I picked this book up. This was really good. My only, I guess, a little critical is I wish the art was a little cleaner. It does make the book feel dirty and lived in, but yeah, there's some times where you know, I can't tell if it's a stylistic choice or if somebody was in a hurry. But that's neither here nor there because this is a quality horror book. I'm gonna put this 8 here. I mean, I'm trying to be harsher this week, but this was a really really good week. But yeah. Anyway, moving on. Next up, we got Green Lantern Corps number 9. This is the Starbreaker Supremacy Part 6. Bringing a close to that event with this issue. This has been a great, fun undertaking by writers Jeremy Hampton and Jeremy Adams and Morgan Hampton, with pencils by Fernando Passarin on this issue particularly, and inks by Eau Claire Albert and Daniel Henriquez and Adriano Di Benedetto, with colors by Lee Loffridge, Arif Prianto, and Matt Herms. Letters by Dave Sharp. Big team on this book. Big team on this book. And some big pages in this book. Man, yeah, we get our Lantern team coming back from the Source Wall, and they're coming back to Oa, and the lanterns are lit, and they can't believe it. And it turns out that they find out that John Stewart sacrificed himself to relight the lanterns, and they did that because the Starbreakers are on their way, and in fact, they are right there, right away, and we get right to the fight. And this is cool. This is just a really big battle issue. Not a lot going on here. Did they stick the landing of this event? Yeah, yeah, to a degree. Um, I was, now, what I thought was going to be more of an impactful event is clearly just setting up a lot more for the future and resetting the status quo, giving Oa a more central role with the emotional spectrum, and giving the Guardians back their memories, which is going to, I'm sure, cause some strife between the Corps and the Guardians. And I like that's a status quo I like, so I'm into that. But yeah, I thought we were going to see more of Krona this issue, but we just kind of get confirmed that I was going to try to come back looking by Hal Jordan, but it wasn't ready, so now I'm all big and ugly Corona. Yeah. I don't know. Time will tell. I fully trust Jeremy Adams and Morgan Hampton to keep these series interesting, both Green Lantern and Green Lantern Corps, respectively. But yeah, I don't know if this stuck the landing as much as I was hoping it would. But would I recommend people read it? Yeah, yeah. If you're into Green Lantern, I mean, this story rules. This is one of the good ones, but on the lower end of the good list. Not on the naughty list. Something like Lights Out, which was just kind of a huh. But you know, this was good. But then the end where we get the reveal that John Stewart is he with what's her name? Oh goodness gracious! He was a Star Sapphire. What Fatality? Is that who that was? Who he was with on the last page? Um, yeah, that was weird. We're gonna need some explaining. That is the quickest turnaround to have a character die at the end of one issue and at the very end of the next issue. It's like, well, we gotta go get him. Hey man, come back. Quit being a farmer. It's like, wait, what? I'm confused. I'm wondering if Farmer John Stewart actually stayed out on the farm and maybe he was a construct this whole time. I don't know. We'll see. We'll find out. Anyway, this issue, I'm just gonna give it a B, like a B plus, because I am a little more partial to Green Lantern, but it was, yeah, yeah, it's a B. It's a B. It's a B. If I keep on talking, I'm gonna talk myself out of it. At the worst, it's a B minus. So anyway, we'll move on. Next issue, we have Marvel Knights The Punisher. This book is taking place in the World to Come story that's currently going on. In fact, 25 years before the events of those books. And this is by writer Jimmy Palmiotti with art by Dan Panosian, colors by Dean White, and letters by Richard Starkings. And oh boy, oh, as somebody who is a big fan of, you know, um, gritty, basic meat and potatoes, don't do anything fancy with it, Punisher, and especially Garth Ennis era Punisher, that era of Marvel Knights and all that. This hit, this hit with me. This was a hit. This was what I wanted out of Punisher Red Band a few weeks back, and I'm probably just not gonna buy that Red Band ever again. But this is my Punisher. I really loved this. This was great. I'm not sure where we're gonna go from here. Seeing Frank as the wielder of that chain gun on or what we think is Frank as the wielder of that chain gun on the last page, um, makes me bummed out, but also excited to see how he's gonna reckon with himself, or you know, how it might not be Frank. Who knows? Who knows? Could be El Zombie, because he did in fact say I am El Zombie. That super awesome catchphrase that's gonna catch on. I am El Zombie. Wow. Yeah. I guess that's one criticism about the book. Yeah, El Zombie. That was the. He seems pretty badass and dangerous, but yeah, that's dumb. I am El Zombie. We get it. We get it. You could have just made him a silent villain. He doesn't have to say that. That's his only words. But anyway, my only real big gripe, I mean, the El Zombie thing. That I'm just nitpicking, giving shit to the writer. But my only real nitpick is with the art. Well, I really liked the art. Maybe I shouldn't say the art. I'm gonna say the colors. Well, I thought Dean White did a good job with the palette that he used. I wish he would have restricted himself in the palettes that he did use. I felt like this could have been more colorful, but like I said, with the limited palettes he was choosing to use on certain pages and pieces of the story, he gave it a lot of depth. It worked. It worked. I just wanted something different. So anyway, this is A. This is A for me. Yeah, I loved this. This is great. This is good stuff. Next up, we have Supergirl number 6. This is by writer and artist Sophie Campbell, with art and parts of this book by Rosie Kemp, and colors by Tamara Bonvillain, and letters by Becca Carey. And in this issue, it's a cool Halloween issue where Supergirl is dealing with these weird nightmares. And without getting too much into the depth with it, it seems to be this character Night Flame that's in her head, causing her to have these nightmares, these super bouts of self confusion and oh, pardon me, it's getting late right now when I'm recording this. Self confusion and self doubt. But Yeah, I really like this issue. It was really metatextual. As a newer Supergirl fan, I kind of recognize certain tropes and story beats and lore pieces of Supergirl, but not in a very in depth way. But this issue made me feel like I kind of did. It really was a good meta way of commenting on her complicated history and how us as fans, as how we might struggle with trying to iron it out. It seems like Kara is struggling as well with her own memories. But yeah, I really like this. This was a good issue, a solid, just one and done story. It really did feel like that, with our hero being triumphant, and a cool callback to the cover of Supergirl Woman of Tomorrow, with Kara holding this sword in the air in one of the panels. Yeah, I really like it. Sophie Campbell really is just working magic with this book. Supergirl issue 6. It ain't getting nothing less but an A from me. And here we go with our last book of this week. From Marvel Comics, we got The World of Revelation #1. This was a collection of 3 short stories. And let's see, let me get the correct credits up here. The first story is called The Message, and it's by writer Al Ewing, with art by Agustin Alessio and letters by Travis Lanham. The next story is Never Let Me Go by writer Steve Fox, art by Jesus Marino, and colors by Will Quintana, with letters by Travis Lanham. And Epic of Revelation. Like I said, it's getting late here when I'm recording this, folks. My bad. The Epoch of Revelation by writer Ryan North, art by Adam Saslowski, colors by Chris Peter, and letters by, you guessed it, Travis Lanham. This was cool. I'm just was buying these Revelation books to force myself into a little more Marvel. And, just, I know this is kind of an event outside of the normal scope of things, but, still, nonetheless, seeing what I like and what I'm into and what I might want to get into more. But this book was a collection of 3 short stories that I found absolutely fascinating. Um, First one, The Message by Al Ewing, really felt to me like it's a story of, we'll just, spoiler alert, um, but a story of Charles Xavier walking across Araco, searching for old En Sabanur, Apocalypse himself. And you have this narration that's telling you the history of Araco and all the features of it and all these different things that I don't know. It felt really felt a lot like Dune to me in the best way possible. Al Ewing just continues to impress me from series to series with the things he's able to accomplish. I just, he can do it all. I mean, he really is. We're yeah. He really is one of the best, maybe of all time. Like Al Ewing, like especially this year, has just cracked it over the fence over and over again with things that are just in remarkably different tone from one to the other, like all new Venom and Mortal Thor, Absolute Green Lantern, this Metamorpho, the Element Man, which is a totally wacky, silly 70s Silver Age tribute to just the insanity of old comics. yeah, I really liked this. This was one that I'm going to read again, not only because there was no way my brain was going to pick up on everything that the narrator was talking about, but just because it was a beautiful, good read. Yeah, that was an S tier story to crack off this issue. That really impressed me. Next story is Never Let Go by Steve Fox. And this is about the effects that Revelation, just kind of what a tyrant he is and how quick he was to betray the mutants that were working with him if they questioned him, despite him, being a friend to all mutants. Unless you go against him, then he turns you into a speechless, scared nightmare person that, yeah, we see that happen to Wiccan. And we have the Hulkling helping him out. And yeah, just it really bummed me out. This was a I'll say this was a B story. Um and it just was sad. It was good. But it was just sad. I did really like it though. I don't know, not much more to say about it. It was pretty just yep, this is what happens when you cross Revelation. It's not good. Yeah, Revelation's a dick. I hate Doug Ramsey. Anyway, we're gonna move on to the last story in this issue, Epic of Revelation by writer Ryan North, and this is an insanely grotesque and tragic body horror story, starring Franklin Richards, who's lost the ability to really just kind of take form at all, and he just rolls around the wastes, bringing supplies to Herbie, and yeah, this was just so sad and depressing to see who was the most powerful character in all of Marvel, pretty much, reduced to a pile of goo that gets just the crap beaten out of him and killed in the street, and it was so sad. It was such a bummer. It was such a bummer, and then to see Herbie realize, okay, he hasn't been back for this long. All right, I'm shutting down, and then he shuts himself down and seals himself off into the cave, and isn't found for 74 million more years, and a completely just alien race of evolved Earthlings probably finds him in this cave, and he wakes back up and is gonna regale him the tale of everything he knew. And I don't know, this was just really it felt really a distant sound of thunder to me, and that it was like I have no mouth and I must scream mixed with distant sound of thunder in a way. I don't know. Yeah, just very Bradbury or something. This was a really cool story. I really like Ryan North as well. A tier story. All in all, this issue was an A tier issue. Yeah, really a surprise. I didn't expect to like that as much as I did. But as for the book of the week, I mean, yeah, it's gotta be DCKO. Like I can already tell I'm gonna be going back to read this event over and over and over again. Even if it kind of craps out towards the end, which I don't think it's gonna do. We are just set up for so much fun and good storytelling. But yeah, DCKO was such a blast, such a kick-ass, silly concept that seems like it has really high stakes and is actually being pulled off um, a lot less tongue-in-cheek than I thought it might be. So well, that's that. Thanks for watching, everybody. I'll be back next week with the previews for next week. And in the meantime, if you could like and subscribe, that would be great. Leave a comment below. I'd love to chat with more people. If you have any questions or corrections for me or scoldings to tell me not to yawn as much while I'm recording videos, that's fine too. But anyway, thank you all for watching. And this is Swampy signing off, saying keep reading, and we'll catch you next time.